The Fitterist Show with your host, Christopher Allen, where we explore the art of mind and body conditioning. Many people find themselves gaining some weight as they get older and or find it more difficult to maintain or lose weight as they age. While there are some inevitable elements of getting older, gaining weight doesn't have to be one of those areas for yourself. There are some simple strategies that one can employ to combat some of the byproducts of aging, and we're going to discuss those in this episode. While it may get a bit tougher to maintain or lose weight with each passing year, these strategies will help you positively impact your body composition over time. So, let's dive in. For those people that never had a problem losing or maintaining weight before, but find it more challenging as they get older, there is a scientific reason why. As we get older, our bodies don't respond the same way to weight loss efforts. Many people tend to gain weight to the tune of around 1 to maybe 2 pounds per year, according to a review published in March of 2013 by the Agency for Healthcare Research and Quality. Now, this may not seem like much, but add 10 years to that, and that's 10 to 20 pounds. It can lead to significant weight gains, and in some cases even lead to obesity. However, not everyone will become overweight as they age, because body weight is highly influenced by 3 major areas. Number 1 is your personal genetic makeup. Everybody's different. Everybody has different genetics, different metabolisms. 2, your level of physical activity. And 3, the ever-present food choices. Most people will find it harder to maintain or lose weight after each passing year, but that doesn't mean that has to be that way for you. Let's take a look at the science behind age-related weight gain. First major area is around less active. First, there's often a downward shift in the number of calories you spend when you exercise. As you get older, you may tend to move a bit less, exercise a little less vigorously, not quite as intense as you did earlier in your life, all of which adds up to fewer calories being burned over the course of the day. That's if you're exercising. If you are exercising less than you used to, but again, still eating the same way you did when you're in your 20s or 30s, you're going to gain weight. Calories in, calories out. If you're at a deficit, you're going to lose weight. If you're in a caloric surplus, you're going to gain weight. Second, there are changes in body composition that are a natural part of the aging process. You tend to just lose muscle as you age, partly because your muscle cells don't repair themselves the same way with the same speed that they used to when you're younger. The everyday wear and tear of your muscles gets repaired relatively quickly, but over time, that process does slow down, which means you can lose some muscle mass. And since muscle tissue does a lot of the metabolic work that uses up a lot of calories, the loss of muscle tissue as you age means you'll be burning fewer calories per day than you used to. Essentially, your metabolic rate slows down. Now, this subtle shift in your metabolism starts somewhere in your 20s or 30s generally. You start to slowly, very slowly lose some muscle tissue and gradually pick up some body fat. By the time, in general, women reach the age of about 40 and men enter their late 50s, early 60s, they start to lose about 5 to 8% of their muscle mass every 10 years. That translates to a drop in the metabolic rate of about 10% every decade. Third, in this mixture of variables, diet clearly plays a role here too. If the rate at which you burn calories is slowing down, then you need to slow down a little bit on your calorie intake if you want to avoid weight gain. In many cases, people are generally just eating too much. They're just taking in too many calories because they're eating the way they did when they were in their 20s and 30s, but they're actually moving a lot less. So the compounding effect of higher caloric intake, lower caloric burn with exercise leads to weight gain. But the other thing that sometimes happens as people get older is their eating habits just change, not really necessarily in a good way. People who might be not cooking for a family that are empty nesters might stop preparing full healthy meals. Instead, they might snack more on regular high-calorie convenience foods, maybe fast foods, or eat out more often at restaurants, which in general tend to have higher calorically dense foods. And also, as people get older, sometimes then find themselves less busy, eating can actually become a kind of form of entertainment that brings with it more calories ingested from the food. Fourth, your body does go through normal hormonal changes as you get older. Both men and women undergo changes in hormone levels as part of aging that help explain why middle age is kind of prime for putting on pounds. For women, menopause, which occurs most often between the ages of 45 to 55, causes a significant drop in estrogen that encourages extra pounds to settle around the midsection. This shift in fat storage may make the weight gain a little more noticeable and increase the risk of high blood pressure and associated type 2 diabetes, etc. Men, on the other hand, experience a significant drop in testosterone as they age, which begins gradually around the age of 40 at a rate of around roughly 1 to 2%, according to Harvard studies. Testosterone is responsible for, among other things, regulating fat distribution, muscle strength, muscle mass. In other words, declines can make the body less effective at actually burning calories. Also, the pituitary gland's production of growth hormone also declines from middle age onward, again from a study at Harvard Health. One of growth hormone's many functions is to build and maintain muscle mass, so as growth hormone decreases, it's harder for your body to make and maintain muscle, which in turn also impacts how many calories you can burn. So with these four kind of meta trends that happen as you age seemingly pitted against you, aging might be inevitable, but you can absolutely positively impact your body composition with some of the following strategies. Number 1, strength and resistance training. Now, strength training may be one of the most important parts of your entire exercise program. Strength training helps you build muscle, tissue, and strength while working on important areas, things like balance, stability, flexibility, all those ancillary muscle groups that help support all of those activities. All of those things tend to decline with age. Since muscle cells burn calories at a much faster rate than fat cells, building up your muscle mass will boost your metabolic rate. And don't think that you're too old. Studies show that with proper resistance training and exercise, people well into their 80s can experience increases in muscle size and strength into your 80s. No excuses. You want to preserve as much muscle mass as possible in general, because again, with more muscle, you burn calories more efficiently, and you're going to be more active because you have a better balance, you have better stamina, better flexibility. Put those muscles to work. Number 2, cardio activity. Here, you can choose any activity you enjoy or think you might enjoy. It could be swimming, walking, cycling, jogging. It's something that gets the heart rate going at least 3 to 5 days a week to make sure that you're getting the appropriate aerobic exercise. Any exercise that gets your hearts pumping is going to burn calories. So again, aim for at least 30 minutes of cardiovascular training most days of the week, 3 to 5 days probably. Start with what you can handle. Gradually add time, build up your stamina, your endurance each week until you can do 30 minutes of continuous activity. Remember that if the pace at which you walk or jog has slowed over time, just remember that you'll be burning fewer calories than you used to. So if you used to walk at a fast pace, you might only need to walk 1.5 miles. But if you're slowing down the pace, you might need to walk 2 or 2.5 miles to burn the same number of calories. Of course, the other thing you can do to compensate is to cut your calorie intake a bit. Or if you can, exercise a bit longer, or you can do some combination of both. Number 3, adjust your diet. The most important aspect of managing your weight is your diet. Keeping track of your calories and sticking with healthy eating at least most of the time can help you avoid too much weight gain as you get older. And there's 2 areas I'd like to talk about with regard to diet. The first area is diet composition. This is where you want to make sure you're eating protein at each meal or snack. Protein not only helps build your body and repair muscle mass, it helps control hunger. You want to make sure that you're eating lean sources of protein, seafood, poultry, egg whites, low-fat or non-dairy products, lean cuts of red meat, and even plant proteins such as tofu, lentils, and even protein powders can be made into smoothies. You also want to prioritize whole foods, vegetables, nuts, beans, fruit that are full of good fiber. It really will make it easier to control the calories, as these are kind of high-volume foods that help fill you up. As always, you want to limit or decrease the amount of fast food, sugar, processed foods that you take in. This is probably even more important as you age, particularly if you're not exercising vigorously, as it will take more activity to burn off those calorically dense foods. The second area is portion control. And this is where you want to learn to adjust your diet to your body's lower calorie needs. And it's kind of a gradual process. You can start by just trimming 100, 200 calories from your daily diet and adjust as needed depending on what you're exercising, what your activity level is, if you're doing cardio and resistance training. But overall, you'd be surprised when you just cut 100 to 200 calories from your daily diet. That does add up. Even with a small change, it does add up over time. Number 4 is stay hydrated. It's easy to confuse the sensation of thirst for hunger. So staying hydrated, particularly with water, rather than calorie-rich beverages that are sugar-laden, like sodas, fruit juices. When you staying hydrated with water, you also ramp up your metabolism, which increases the breakdown of fat, and that is generally a good thing. So hydration is obviously key. Number 5, managing stress. For many people, stress leads to stress eating. Do what you need to do to relax, whether that's yoga, meditation, breathing exercises, long baths, long walk, could combination of exercise with managing stress, whatever helps you relax. Number 6, sleep. Try to get a good 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night. Sleep doesn't just energize you, but it also facilitates the muscle growth and the repair and the recovery, and helps keep the hormones that control hunger in check. It really optimizes your health and wellness, reduces the risk of disease, and also diminishes mental fatigue. Getting adequate sleep is essential for strengthening your immune system, learning, memory consolidation, improving mood, and virtually every aspect of health. So really try to get proper sleep every night. It's hugely beneficial in a number of areas as you age. And number 7, this one's an optional one. You could keep a food log. I've done this on and off over time, but a daily food log can help you kind of stay motivated. If you're an analytical person like myself, you tend to want to see what foods are having what benefit or what effect on your body, on your weight, on your energy level, on your alertness. Keeping a food log or food journal helps keep tabs on your weight. You can write down what you eat, how much you exercise, how much water you drink every day, so you can kind of check those off to make sure you're drinking all of your water. And you'll be able to track the results and see what works and what doesn't work for your body. So it's a way for you to kind of self-learn and figure out, again, the important thing is what works food-wise for your digestion, your overall health, and your body. In summary, look, we know that getting older is inevitable. But when you look around at older adults these days, a lot of times they look younger, healthier, and fitter than ever. Part of it is learning how to take care of ourselves with exercise. No matter what we do, our bodies are going to change. That's part of the aging process. We may not be the same weight as we were when we were younger, in our 20s and 30s, but we can still be strong, fit, and healthy at any age. While we don't always have control over everything that can cause weight gain, there are some factors that are just part of aging. There are lifestyle choices that you can make to better manage the scale and stay strong, stay healthy as you age. Gaining weight as you get older isn't necessarily inevitable. Everyone's body is different, and you may not experience all the factors that we talked about earlier. While your activity levels, your hormones, your body composition do change with age, a consistently healthy lifestyle, a balanced diet, regular exercise, both resistance training and cardiovascular exercise, can help keep your weight under control. We'll talk to you next week. With that, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to listen to The Fitterist Show. You can follow us on Instagram at FitteristMindBody and on Twitter at FitteristMind. If you enjoyed this episode, please send it to a friend or subscribe to make sure you don't miss any future episodes of The Fitterist Show. My name is Christopher Allen, and make it a magical day.